A Fortune 500 CFO opened an email at 9:47 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. 22 seconds later, his laptop was broadcasting every keystroke, including banking credentials, to a criminal operation thousands of miles away. The attacker wasn't a hacker, it was an AI system trained to write like his entire accounting department. Before this video ends, I'll show you the exact email structure these systems use, and why even cybersecurity professionals are falling for it. The following scenario is a composite based on documented AI phishing patterns from multiple 2024 incidents, including reported cases involving multinational companies in Southeast Asia. Late 2024, a multinational electronics manufacturer in Southeast Asia, over 10,000 employees across the region. The finance team received what appeared to be a routine email from HR. Subject line, urgent, Q4, payroll account updates required. Nothing unusual. The writing style matched perfectly. Same sentence structure their HR director always used. Same signature format. Even the same minor typo in the closing line that she'd been making for years. The email requested updated banking details for a new payroll processing system. Standard, end-of-quarter housekeeping. Dozens of employees complied within hours. Within days, millions in payroll funds routed to accounts in offshore jurisdictions. By the time anyone noticed, the money had been fragmented across hundreds of cryptocurrency wallets. Here's what made this attack different from every phishing operation you've seen before. The HR director never sent that email, but an AI system did. After analyzing thousands of internal emails the company had accidentally exposed through a misconfigured cloud portal months earlier. The AI didn't just copy her writing style. It learned her patterns, her rhythms, her vocabulary, even her mistakes. This is what a 1,200% surge in AI-powered phishing actually looks like. And what happened next is the part nobody is prepared for. Let me show you exactly how dramatic this shift has been. 2023. Traditional phishing emails were relatively easy to spot. Poor grammar, generic greetings, suspicious links from obvious fake domains. 2024, according to multiple 2024 to 2025 cybersecurity reports, AI-powered phishing volume increased approximately 1,200 to 1,300% since generative AI tools became widely available. But here's what that number doesn't tell you. These aren't just better phishing emails. Recent industry research estimates that approximately 80 to 83% of all phishing campaigns now use AI-generated or AI-assisted content in some form. This represents a fundamental evolution in social engineering. Traditional phishing was spray and pray. Send 100,000 emails. Hope 0.1% click. AI phishing is surgical. Every email is personalized, every target researched, every message crafted to match not just the company's tone, but the specific writing style of whoever the attacker is impersonating. The process starts with data that most companies don't even know they've exposed. LinkedIn profiles, press releases, conference presentations, leaked email dumps from third-party breaches, even company blogs and investor reports. All of it gets fed into large language models specifically trained for one purpose: to sound like someone you trust. Pause for a moment and think about this. How many emails in your inbox right now sound slightly robotic? And how many sound exactly like someone you actually work with? That's the problem. You can't tell anymore. Let me walk you through the exact playbook criminals are using right now. Phase 1, reconnaissance. The attacker starts with your company's organizational chart, not the official one, the real one. They scrape LinkedIn connections to map reporting relationships. They analyze email signatures from conference attendees. They identify who approves, what, and when. Then they feed this into an AI system with one instruction: learn to write like these people. Phase 2, tone modeling. This is where it gets sophisticated. The AI analyzes writing patterns from any source it can find. Press releases, blog posts, even customer service responses. It learns sentence length preferences, vocabulary choices, punctuation habits, common phrases, and typical email timing patterns. In documented cases, attackers have studied executive communication patterns so thoroughly that AI systems can predict which days and time-specific executives typically request urgent financial approvals. Phase 3. The delivery. Here's what makes this almost impossible to catch. The email doesn't come from an obvious fake domain. It comes from a compromised account, often from a vendor or partner company with legitimate email access. The subject line uses psychological pressure modeling. Final approval needed before EOD. Quick question about the Johnson account. Following up on our call. The body of the email. Perfectly normal. No spelling errors. No urgent demands to click suspicious links. Just a simple request that matches standard workflow. Hey Sarah, can you verify the updated routing numbers in this shared doc before I finalize payroll? Link expires at 5 p.m. Thanks, Mike. Phase 4. The payload. You click the link, it takes you to what appears to be your company's SharePoint page. Same logo, same color scheme, same URL structure, except for one character difference in the domain name that you'd need to be specifically looking for to notice. You enter your credentials. The site says, "Session expired, please re-authenticate." You enter them again. Meanwhile, in real time, those credentials are being used to access your actual corporate systems. No malware, no suspicious downloads. Pure social engineering, scaled to target thousands of employees simultaneously. The scariest part, there's a new capability criminals have developed recently that makes even this look primitive. The latest evolution in AI phishing is called context hijacking. Here's how it works. The attacker gains access to your email, not to steal data, but to read it. They use AI to analyze your actual conversation threads, active projects, ongoing negotiations, internal debates. Then they insert themselves into those conversations. You're in the middle of a 3-week email thread about a vendor contract. 12 people involved. Dozens of messages back and forth. Then, this arrives. "Hi everyone, per David's request, I've updated the payment terms in the attached contract. Please review section 4.2 and confirm we're aligned before I send to legal. Jessica is on the thread. She has been for weeks. The writing style is hers. The reference to David's request matches a message from 2 days ago. The attachment even has your company's standard contract formatting, except Jessica didn't send it. And I did. Using her compromised email account, referencing real conversations it had analyzed. Industry reports estimate that multiple context hijack incidents occurred in 2024, with combined losses from similar business email compromise attacks easily reaching tens of millions of dollars. This is why your spam filter can't protect you anymore. There's nothing to filter. These are legitimate emails from legitimate accounts, written by AI that has studied your company's communication patterns. Let me show you the specific patterns security researchers are now identifying in successful attacks. In cases analyzed by security researchers and training vendors, successful AI phishing emails consistently follow the same structure. Sentence 1 creates emotional urgency without seeming aggressive. Need your review ASAP before we finalize end-of-quarter numbers. Can you verify this before the wire deadline at 3 p.m.? Quick approval needed. Client is waiting on our response. Sentence 2 embeds a verification request that sounds like standard workflow. Please confirm the updated routing in this shared spreadsheet. Click here to review the revised terms before I send to legal. Verify these updated credentials match your records. Test yourself right now. Would you have clicked? Be honest, because even cybersecurity professionals are falling for this. Security simulation vendors report concerning click rates during internal tests, even among teams who design security protocols for a living. The reason is simple. These emails don't trigger our threat detection because they're not threats. They're perfect replicas of normal business communication. The following examples are composite scenarios based on documented AI phishing patterns from multiple real incidents across different industries in 2024. Let me show you 3 patterns that keep appearing in incident reports. Pattern 1. Executive impersonation. Mining and resource companies in Australia have reported incidents where CFOs received emails from impersonated CEOs requesting urgent fund transfers for acquisition opportunities. The writing style was perfect. The acquisition targets were real, discussed in recent board meetings. Multi-million-dollar transfers were authorized before anyone realized the CEO never sent the email. The AI systems had analyzed leaked board communications from third-party contractor breaches. Pattern 2. Payroll system manipulation. Property development and construction firms in the Middle East have experienced cases where payroll managers received updated bank details for dozens of employees. The emails came from compromised HR accounts. Weeks of payroll, hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, went to fraudulent accounts. Employees weren't paid. Companies had to issue emergency loans while investigating. Pattern 3. Invoice fraud evolution. Professional services firms in the UK have reported invoice fraud where AI systems studied hundreds of previous invoices from legitimate vendors to replicate exact formatting, right down to footer disclaimer text and payment term language. Hundreds of thousands in payments were made to accounts that differed by just 1 or 2 digits from the legitimate vendor's banking details. But these individual patterns aren't even the most dangerous version of what's emerging. The next evolution is already here. Multi-channel coordination. Here's what's happening right now. Attackers are using AI systems that don't just send an email. They orchestrate campaigns across every channel you use. You receive an email from your CFO requesting urgent wire transfer approval. 10 minutes later, a text message. Did you see my email? Need this done before 2 p.m. 20 minutes after that, a Slack message. Hey, just following up on the wire transfer, getting pressure from the board. Same AI. Same writing style. Same person being impersonated. Across email, SMS, WhatsApp, Microsoft Teams, and Slack simultaneously. Your brain doesn't question it because the behavior matches normal escalation patterns. Your CFO sends an email, follows up via text when it's urgent, then pings on Slack if you haven't responded. Except it's all generated by a single AI model that analyzed months of your company's multi-platform communication patterns. Threat intelligence firms are detecting these coordinated attacks with increasing frequency. Detection is improving, but many still result in financial losses before being stopped. This is why traditional security training doesn't work anymore. You're not looking for suspicious emails. You're looking for perfect replicas of legitimate business communication deployed across every platform you trust. So let me give you the actual protection framework that's working. I'm going to give you 7 specific measures your organization needs to implement immediately. These aren't theoretical. According to multiple incident reviews, these are the controls that security experts consistently identify as effective against AI phishing attacks. 1. Out-of-band verification. Any financial request, regardless of how legitimate it seems, requires verification through a different channel. Email requests get phone call confirmations. Using known numbers, not the ones in the email. Security researchers analyzing documented cases note this single rule would have prevented the vast majority of successful AI phishing incidents. 2. Block email auto-forwarding rules. Email forwarding rules are a common persistence technique in business email compromise. Disable this feature at the Exchange or Google Workspace level unless specifically required and logged. Most users never need this functionality. 3. Deploy anomaly-based monitoring. Traditional spam filters look for malicious content. You need systems that detect behavioral anomalies. Unusual sending patterns. Unexpected recipient lists. Timing deviations from normal communication habits. 4. Train for tone mismatches. Teach your teams to recognize when something sounds almost right, but slightly off. Wrong vocabulary, unusual formality, missing context that should be there. The AI is good, but it's not perfect yet. 5. Implement delay send. On financial transactions, any payment authorization should have a mandatory delay before execution, typically 30 to 60 minutes. This gives time to catch and cancel fraudulent requests before money moves. 6. Use challenge phrases. Establish company-wide verification phrases that aren't stored in email. When you need to confirm someone's identity on an unusual request, you ask a question only they would know. What did we discuss about the Miller project? If they can't answer specifically, it's compromised. 7. Run AI phishing simulations. Don't wait for a real attack. Test your team regularly using AI-generated phishing emails based on your actual communication patterns. Organizations that conduct monthly simulations report substantial reductions in successful attacks within 6 months. Now let me close the loop I opened at the beginning. The exact structure used in these payroll diversion attacks. Remember that payroll diversion I mentioned? Here's what the AI-generated email structure typically looks like. Hi team, Finance has flagged our fourth quarter payroll processing system for compliance upgrades required by local regulator. We need all department heads to verify employee banking details through the new secure portal by EOD Friday. Log in here, link that looks exactly like the company's actual payroll portal. I know it's short notice, but this came down from regional compliance and we're under regulatory timeline pressure. Please prioritize. We can't process Q4 bonuses until this is complete. Thanks. HR Director's name. Notice what makes it work. Real regulatory body referenced correctly. Time pressure tied to something employees care about. Bonuses. Legitimate-looking portal URL. Writing style matching previous emails. No spelling errors or obvious red flags. Dozens of employees clicked within hours in documented cases. Their credentials gave attackers access to actual payroll systems. Millions disappeared within days. Here's what you need to understand. You will receive an email in 2025 that looks completely normal. It will reference a project you recognize. It will match your colleague's writing style perfectly, and it will be written by a machine. The question isn't if you'll encounter AI phishing. The question is whether you'll recognize it. After watching this episode, you now know the patterns, the two-sentence structure, the context hijacking technique, the multi-channel coordination. You know what to look for, and you know how to verify. That's the difference between being a statistic and being protected. Stay vigilant. Verify everything. And remember, if an email creates urgency, that's exactly when you need to slow down.